It was a sunny afternoon in London, and Michael Dapaah, better known by his alter ego Big Shaq, was in high spirits. The comedian, rapper, and internet sensation had just launched his own merchandise store in the heart of the city. The store, aptly named Man's Not Hot Merch, was a dream come true for Shaq. It was a place where fans could come together, celebrate his music, and take home a piece of his iconic humor and style. The grand opening had been a massive success, with fans lining up around the block to get their hands on exclusive hoodies, t-shirts, and hats. But today, Shaq wasn't there as the owner. He wanted to experience the store as a regular customer, to see how things were running behind the scenes. Dressed in a casual hoodie, jeans, and a cap pulled low over his face, he walked into the store unnoticed. The staff were busy assisting customers, and the atmosphere was lively and welcoming, or so it seemed. Shaq browsed through the racks, smiling to himself as he overheard fans excitedly discussing his music and catchphrases. He was about to introduce himself to the staff when he noticed something that made his blood boil. A manager, a tall, middle-aged man with a stern expression, was berating one of the employees, a young black woman named Amina. "You're too slow," the manager snapped, his voice loud enough to draw the attention of nearby customers. "If you can't keep up, maybe you don't belong here." Amina looked down, her face flushed with embarrassment. "I'm sorry, sir. I'll try to do better." The manager rolled his eyes. "You people always say that, but nothing ever changes." Shaq's fists clenched. He stepped forward, his voice calm but firm. "Excuse me, is there a problem here?" The manager turned to him, his expression dismissive. "This doesn't concern you. Move along." Shaq removed his cap, revealing his face. "Actually, it does concern me. I'm the owner of this store." The manager's eyes widened in shock, but his arrogance quickly returned. "I don't care who you are. This is my store, and I'll run it how I see fit." Shaq raised an eyebrow. "Your store? That's news to me. Care to explain?" The manager hesitated, then crossed his arms. "I was hired to manage this place, and that's what I'm doing. If you have a problem with it, take it up with corporate." Shaq's jaw tightened. He turned to Amina. "Is this how he usually treats you?" Amina nodded, her voice barely above a whisper. "He's always like this, especially with the black staff. He says we're lazy and incompetent." Shaq's heart ached for her. He turned back to the manager, his voice low and steady. "You're fired. Pack your things and leave." The manager laughed, a harsh, mocking sound. "You can't fire me. I answer to corporate, not some wannabe rapper." Shaq pulled out his phone and dialed a number. "Hello, this is Michael Dapaah. I need you to terminate a manager at the Man's Not Hot merch store immediately." "Yes, the one in London. Thank you." The manager's face turned pale as he realized what was happening. "You can't do this," he sputtered. "I just did," Shaq replied, his voice cold. "Now get out of my store." The manager stormed out, muttering curses under his breath. The store fell silent, the customers and staff watching the scene unfold with a mix of shock and relief. Shaq turned to Amina and the other employees, his expression softening. "I'm sorry you had to go through that," he said. "No one should ever be treated that way, especially not in a place that's supposed to celebrate unity and positivity. From now on, this store will be a safe space for everyone. If anyone has an issue with that, they can leave." The staff erupted into applause, their faces filled with gratitude. Amina stepped forward, tears in her eyes. "Thank you, Mr. Dapaah. You have no idea how much this means to us." Shaq smiled. "Call me Shaq, and don't thank me. This is how it should have been from the start." But Shaq wasn't done. He knew that firing the manager was just the first step. He wanted to ensure that something like this would never happen again. He called a meeting with the store's staff, listening to their experiences and concerns. He also reached out to corporate, demanding better training and stricter policies to prevent discrimination and harassment. A week later, Shaq returned to the store, this time as himself. He hosted a special event for fans, using the opportunity to address what had happened. "This store isn't just about merchandise," he said. "It's about community, respect, and standing up for what's right. What happened here was wrong, but it's been made right, and I promise you, this store will always be a place where everyone is welcome." The crowd cheered, their support overwhelming. Shaq felt a sense of pride and relief. He had turned a negative situation into an opportunity for growth and change. Under Shaq's leadership, the store flourished. The staff felt valued and respected, and the atmosphere was more welcoming than ever. Amina was promoted to assistant manager, her confidence and skills shining brighter than ever. The store became a symbol of inclusivity and positivity, a reflection of Shaq's values and vision. As for the former manager, he struggled to find work after word spread about his behavior. Shaq, however, didn't revel in his downfall. Instead, he hoped the man would learn from his mistakes and grow into a better person. Shaq's experience taught him an important lesson about leadership and responsibility. It wasn't enough to be a figurehead. He had to be actively involved, to listen, and to take action when necessary. He also learned the power of standing up for what's right, even when it's difficult. And for the staff and fans, it was a reminder that kindness, respect, and justice are values worth fighting for. The story of Big Shaq and the racist manager became a symbol of hope and change, inspiring others to stand up against discrimination and inequality.